Welcome back once again. Now I want to ask you some questions. You ready for some questions?
I'm ready.
Why are you running for sheriff?
I want to put my 24 years experience. While I worked for the sheriff's office, I saw a need for some improvement, and the only way to really to make a change is sit in that top seat. So I want to make the improvement, and I'm campaigning as the taxpayer's best friend, criminal's worst enemy. So I vow to make a difference in Camden County and restore integrity and back to the sheriff's office.
Can you tell me a couple of things that you would like to see changed?
One of them is reform the trustee program.
You think it needs to be reformed?
Yes, sir.
That was only a joke.
Yes. Balance their budget, hold that bottom line. There's been some overruns. There's more visibility in our communities. So.
Well, what about in your background that makes you qualified to be sheriff?
I started this job. I'm a third-generation law enforcement officer, like we've talked about. I've interned with U.S. Park Police, Georgia State Patrol. While in high school, I was actually employed and paid by the Glenn County Police Department to be an underage buyer of alcohol. I think Fernandina Beach just did one, and basically we went to all the alcohol establishments throughout the county and did underage alcohol buys, and out of, I think, 84 of them, 74 or 75 of them sold to me. So there was an alcohol problem there.
And how old were you?
I was 17 at the time.
17.
Upon graduation, I was one of the youngest narcotics agents for the state of Georgia, and I was hired by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. From there, I was working a case of narcotics here in Camden County where I met Sheriff Smith, and right after he was elected, and he offered me a job, and I was in the process of getting married, so narcotics in the job to be married, so I took him up on his offer. Worked for the sheriff's office and worked my way there for 19 years, all the way up to number 3 in charge. While there, I was worked my way all the way up to the chief financial officer, and kept their budget under control until FY 2004, 2005.
Well, you seem to have a passion for law enforcement. You get that from your dad and from your granddad. And
I sure do. They're my heroes. My whole life, I looked up at these guys and couldn't wait till I could do it myself. And they've always said, it's a thankless job, don't do it. But being me, that was the first thing I ran out and tried, and I love it, and I enjoy it. But also in my backgrounds, I've got a criminal justice degree. I worked my way into Phi Theta Kappa, which is a National Honor Society for law enforcement and 2-year colleges, and also have another degree that's general studies, which I'm working on to pursue other avenues. I currently state certified. I hold the most state certifications for law enforcement than any officer in this county at this time. I have my basic, intermediate, advanced, supervisory management. I'm currently working on my executive. So been pretty busy working towards my qualifications.
now you worked undercover drugs, and I worked undercover drugs, and there's some situations that you get into when you work undercover drugs that really make you feel like it's a real test. It's a real test. Do you have any special one that you want to share with us?
There was a few in Richmond Hill, Virginia, where they were bringing all the marijuana in on the shrimp boats, and those were the days you would have to basically go live with these guys 2 or 3 months, go in these bars unarmed, and you know, it was some hairy situations there. But at 18, 19 years old, I was scared, but we made the case and made a lot of good busts out of there. And
now, were you disguised or?
No, I mean, basically we had long hair, and
sure.
It was early 80s, and we just go live in that community for 2 or 3 months and befriend these people and get in the bars, and they just thought we were one of the community, and worked our way in there and slowly started buying drugs from them, and eventually led to getting the guy that was bringing it in on the shrimp boats.
You find out a lot about yourself when you work undercover drugs. So you have a passion. What is your platform or your policy proposals that you?
I have a 6-point plan to provide superior public safety is one of them. Command the Sheriff's Office with a planned, professional, proactive leadership. Basically, identify a problem before it becomes a problem. Don't be reactive. You should lead by example. Our current sheriff is a political sheriff. He doesn't wear a uniform. I plan on wearing a uniform and working with my guys and get out there and lead by example. That's the only way you really know your guys that work with you. You know, maintain strong relationships with all federal, state, and local agencies and authorities, to include the Board of Commissioners. Including the Board of Commissioners. I think they should meet in the middle and let their egos go and work together. As we see currently, that there's a problem. Another part of my plan is to reform the trustee program. Currently, there's too much trust placed in the trustees right now.
Too much trust in the trustees.
Yes. Allow no inmates outside the jail that's been charged with a felony or a violent crime. Currently, you can make trustee status with no matter what you're charged with, including murder.
I wasn't aware of that.
My policy, one of my policy changes would, if you have been charged or convicted with a felony or a violent crime, you would never see the outside of this jail except for court purposes. Also, let's let them only be supervised by state certified officers. Currently, we can have a city worker from Woodbine come check them out, or any city check them out and go do work detail. You know, that they're not equipped or trained to handle one if they want to escape. It's a public safety issue to me. Just simple policy changes like I'm talking about would be help reform that program. Dress inmates like inmates. Inmates leave our jails wearing jeans and a t-shirt. Half our teenagers dress that way. So if one of these guys got in our neighborhoods, how would you differentiate them? So I say you dress them in a uniform that would readily identify them as inmates to anybody in the community.
Back to the orange jumpsuits kind of thing.
Correct. We need our citizens to know these are inmates if they got walked away from a work detail program. Save taxpayers' money. I was the chief financial officer. I say we streamline the operating budget and do this budget with fiscal responsibility. Spend the maximum, provide the maximum level of service for every tax dollar. That's not happening right now. This is not theories for me, because I actually was their chief financial officer for 10 years. And after I left in 2005, you see what's happened to the budget. Spend all seized drug asset money, which is basically drug money taken off the streets of our interstates and our highways, in Camden County for Camden County. Anybody knows economics. If you spend money here in Camden County, the trickle-down effect, it benefits Camden County.
Sure.
Boost employees' morale is another one of the things I propose.
It's got to be kind of an all-time low right now, I would imagine.
It is. There's some things going on. Campaigns and election years are not pleasant to work up there. But over and above that, change the current policy of at-will to just cause. If you are a good manager, you can find reasons for a bad employee to document to let that employee go. But if you let good people go and you tell them, hey, you're an at-will employee, that kills employees' morale. Treat people with fairness and respect. A decent employee, if they're treated with fairness and respect, they'll be more productive. Mm-hmm. Promote your employees based on abilities and merit. You know, and that's not happening right now. Another point of my plan would create an open and honest sheriff's office. There's been several times that the media has filed Open Records Act, and for some reason the information wasn't given out even though it met the guidelines. Well, I don't know if the charges are true or not, but if you withhold information to people rightfully obtaining it, it gives the parents something else or something more is going on. Host monthly town hall meetings. At least let the public come and be heard and voice their opinion, and let there be a free exchange of information there. It's just, you know, when you exclude the public from things, and anytime they call up there or the media calls up, it's no comment. It just gives an air of something more going on. It's not a free exchange of information. Mm-hmm. It's just a good policy, I feel. Increase police visibility in our communities. When I started there was 12 deputies. Now there's 150 employees in that office. The sheriff recently told the Board of Commission there's still only 3 deputies patrolling 650 square miles. That's a management problem. And I'm not trying to do this to be ugly, but you need to get some of these officers out of the office, in the patrol cars, and back into the communities. It's not just a visibility thing. You need to know your community, get to know your community, identify their problems. You know, because what the problems in Osprey Cove are not the same problems in Tarboro.
Well, we're going to be taking some questions from just the audience in just a couple of minutes. Will you be willing to stick around for a few more minutes?
I'd love to.
All right, now, let me ask you something real quick. Now, once again, what year did you come here?
I came here at the end of 1996, or 86.
86, okay. Well, we're going to find out a lot more about Tommy Gregory in just a moment.